assignment is about drawing apples. And one of the things we're going to learn as we draw these apples and finish them in color is we're going to learn to see the light and the shadow, the reflections, and all that happens in a surface, on a surface, because of the light and the shadow, and how that has something to do with the way that we observe and understand the color. So if we were going to look at this apple, we would say this is a green apple. But green is not the only color on this apple. It depends on what is reflecting on it. For example, if I put the red apple close to it, then we start to see a little bit of a hue of red reflected on it, and the same thing happens with the red apple when another color is put against it. So we are going to take a look at these. We're going to start by drawing them, and then we're going to finish with color by observing all that we can see, all the colors that we can see on the apples. So I'm going to show you here an example or a photo of some of the drawings that were done by last year's second graders, and this was displayed on the bulletin board in the school. And these are some of the drawings that were done, and beautiful, beautiful work. So I am looking very much forward to what our second graders this year are going to do. So let's begin. I have given all the children in the classroom 2 pieces of paper, and they are it's about approximately 8.5 by 11, cut in half. And because we're going to be doing the red apple on one paper and the green apple on the other. And it is, as you see, it's a dark colored paper, and the reason for that is because when we draw with pastel colors, which is what we're going to be doing in the at the end, we are going to be it shows up better on the dark paper. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, let's just go ahead. I'm just going to do one of them. And the other one, it'll be easier for all the kids at home to follow. Once we've done one, they can follow on the other one at home. So let's go ahead and start with this green apple. I'm looking at it in this position. So I have to put it in front of me, and I cannot turn the camera so that you can see exactly what I'm seeing, but I just wanted to show you. So we're going to start by doing, the first thing we do when we draw anything in nature is, for example, the apples or all the fruit, they have a center. And in this case, the stem that's up here, it goes all the way through the center of the apple, and it comes out at the bottom. So I have actually shown in class a photo. Let me see if I can, here. This is a painting that I did. This is oils, it's not pastels. But in this painting, I painted an apple that was cut. So you can see that the stem that starts up here, it kind of goes all the way through the center of the apple until the bottom. And these are things that we don't see on the outside, but this is something that it's just the way it is. So that's what we're going to draw. So we're going to start by drawing the stem, which is, in this case, it kind of curls a little bit on the top, and then I'm just going to curve it a bit to the bottom. So I'm going to start by drawing, and I'm doing white pencil because it will be easier to see on this paper. You can do regular pencil if you don't have it, but it's just a little bit more difficult to see. So I'm going to start out by drawing, and I just kind of sketch it because this is going to be finished when we do the color. So we start by drawing the stem. Then we're going to go ahead and do a little curved line like this. And what that is this part of the apple right here, this little indentation. So we will do this curve, and then we're going to go ahead and do the outside of the apple. So we're just going to do curved lines. And you see how I'm drawing just in short strokes. It helps me to control it better. I make lots of mistakes, so this kind of gives me a chance to kind of fix it. Then in the bottom, I'm going to go up a little bit because that's what I'm looking at. On the other side of the apple, then it goes like this. So this is pretty much like what we're going to do as far as giving us the starting point of our drawing. So then we're going to go into color. Now we are doing the green apple, and I see in my where I have it, I see you can kind of see in the bottom is going to be a little bit darker. Here my light is coming from the top, but I would rather have you have the light come from the side. It's just that this is where I'm situated right now in the art room. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna color it the way that I would like you to do it at home. So I am gonna start with the darker green, so it doesn't look like this would be the color of the apple, but then we go over on the top with other lighter colors. When you're doing pastels, you always do the darker colors first. So I'm just gonna do, and when I do that, I don't push it down really hard. You know, this is not like we're writing on a chalkboard with a chalk. We're drawing on a paper, so we try to keep it relatively light, because you can always go over if you want to make it darker. So it might not look like this. It doesn't look like the color of the apple, does it? No, but that's okay. So then I'm going to make a little bit of dark color here. And then I'm going to go ahead, I have a lighter green that I'm going to use on top of this. So that will show me. See, so the dark green will show through, while the lighter green will kind of give you the more accurate color of your apple. And again, you're going to do it in short strokes. You can cross them, you can do a little bit of a curve if you want. And you just keep filling it in. Chalk pastels are really fun. They're messy, but they're very fun. They're washable, so you don't have to worry too much about your clothes or your hands or your nails. It does come off. Okay, so then I'm seeing my apple has a little bit of a light over here, so I'm just gonna try to kind of do like this, so then I can go back with my lighter color later and do that. Okay, so then it doesn't look, to me, it's looking a little flat. I want it to be 3D. So then I am going to, let's see, what colors do I have? A yellow, so that's a lighter color. We're still in the same family of the greens. If you remember how we get to green, is by mixing yellow and blue. So then up there, I see that there's a little more shine up there, so I'm gonna go ahead and do yellow up here. And then I'm going to do some yellow over here, and it's starting to look like it's a little bit three-dimensional, doesn't it? It's a little more round. It looks round. And then I'm just going to look at the apple and see where I see my colors, and it will depend, of course, on how you're looking at it at home and where you put your lights. It's fun to actually shine a light on it. A direct light. If you have a lamp, that's also fun. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a little bit. I think it needs a little bit more darkness down here. So that green that I used at the beginning did not seem to be dark enough. So I am going to try. Let's see what I can find. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and try a little blue. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bring it here. And the blue, the pastels will mix with each other. You can put a little bit of blue down here, and then you can go over it with your other greens, and just kind of blend them. It's good not to, it's really hard for us sometimes not to use our fingers, but if you can't help it, just kind of go ahead and do it. Just mix it with the pastel itself instead of your fingers. And the reason for that is because when we use fingers, then the oil from our finger gets in the drawing, and this is for advanced drawing. That is not desirable. Okay, well I'm gonna go ahead. I'm doing this quickly for you. I'm gonna go ahead and do the stem. I don't have the exact color, but I have a brown here, so I'm just gonna do brown. I don't think I like it. Let me see. I'm gonna mix it with a bit of black because it's more of a gray brown what it does. Makes it a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this black here to give it that shadow. And then I'll blend it with a different color. Blend it into the paper with a different color. Okay, so that's kind of a quick way of doing an apple. Then I would like you to do, make it look like it's sitting on a surface. So I just took this color randomly. I'm just gonna do this and do a line like this is like the edge of my table. And then I am going to see where is my shadow. So let's see. My shadow is over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do dark. Do like with a darker brown over here to do my shadow. And that doesn't seem to be dark enough. So I'm going to go ahead and mix it with a little bit of black. And then go back with the brown and blend it. And it just kind of makes it like a darker brown. So the background, okay, so since I use this color for this line, then I am just going to assume that this is the color of my table. And it can be any color that you want. It doesn't have to be realistic. It doesn't have to be exactly what you're looking at for the background color. So you can do anything you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish lightly and mix it. Okay, so the shadow, see, I am blending it with this color because if you pay attention and you look at how the shadow is on an object, how the shadow projects, it's not like a stiff line. It blends. It's a gradual, like if you do these things in the computer, you might call it gradient. So it's just a blend how it goes. Okay, so my background, I don't know if you want to make it something really a little bit crazy. We could do turquoise. So we could do turquoise in the background. And again, this is something you're going to choose yourself. This will just make it really colorful. So then you can finish your background with turquoise. Just for fun. I did not think ahead of what I was doing here, so I am just kind of making this up as I go. Whoops, my light just went out in the art room. I apologize for this, but it makes it look kind of fun. Okay. I forgot that the lights are automatic, and I'm not going to do this video again, so you guys, let me move around a little bit so that the lights go back on. Okay. All right, so there you go. Then when you get to this point, then you start looking at it more carefully, and you see, what do I want to accentuate? So I think I'm going to make this shadow a little bit more distinct, this line here. And then as I mentioned before, we blend it. So you take your next color and you blend it with your next color. It's super fun. The last thing that we would do is, not like when we're drawing with other mediums, with pastels as well as with oil paints, you leave the highlight for the very end. So then I see that there's some lightness here, so I'm going to do this, and then you just add some more. It will work better with a white, but I don't have one here. Did not notice that I didn't have one in this box. So, but then you just add the highlights. Wherever you see them, there's a little bit of highlight on see? And that makes it look all three-dimensional. So this is not finished. You will be doing more blending, like for your background. You can add, if you might have noticed that some of the kids last year, I'm going to show you again. Some of the kids last year did, I saw that somebody did clouds on behind her apple or his apple. Some just kind of oh, it looks like, I'm not sure what this is, but it looks like two balls of fire, and there's some color mixing in the background that's going on. That's very, very interesting. So, and this one did that, made it look like the shadow was on, like as if the apple was against the wall. Okay, I do hope it helps, and if you're not in school when we have class this week, I hope you're doing very well, and I hope you come back soon. Okay, you have a very blessed Thanksgiving weekend. Bye.